And we are live on episode 3 of the Chet Rock podcast, where we talk about all things basketball related all over the world, all over the globe, Craig. And we are here to ask you to do one thing. And what's that, Chip?
Check Rock.
All right, we here with Chip Green, co-host and moderator, DJ A Squared. My man Anwar. We here in the building. And we gonna get right to it today. First topic, Anwar.
All right. So the Utah Jazz have the longest running winning streak in the NBA. Are the Utah Jazz a real contender? We are going to let you start with that chip.
In my eyes, I'm going to say yes. In the Lakers' eyes and the Clippers' eyes, I'm going to say no. But I will say yes for several reasons. One, they've been going to the playoffs consistently for the last few years now. Spider is coming into his own. He is really coming into his own. I think Shaq grilling him up a little bit kind of woke him up and having him step into the plate. And they're just becoming a really good team, and they've always been a hard-working team, and they play hard every night. And we'll see. I don't think many teams in the West can beat them, besides those two I named in maybe the Nuggets. So we'll look forward to seeing what they got. But this is nothing new. They make a run like this every year.
Utah, they're a contender. They're a contender. They're injury away from maybe really making a run. And I don't think Spider Mitchell doing anything he didn't do last year. Honestly, I think really, if you look at their team and look at the structure of their team, Mike Conley playing really good is really what's tipping the scale for them. Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert. I think the team goes how Mike Conley and Rudy Gobert go. So honestly, I believe that because Donovan Mitchell gonna score. That's what he do. He gonna score every night. Like he gonna get you 22. He gonna take the attempts. He gonna score. If Mike Conley keeps shooting at the high percentage he's shooting and scoring, and he figured the offense out. If Mike Conley can unlock that offense and really be that guy to get other guys easy shots and easy baskets where it's not all on Donovan Mitchell, they could really be a contender. But outside of that, if Mike Conley come out there and be Mike Conley that he was in the bubble in the playoffs, you can't rely on sets in the playoffs. You play any high echelon team that could just stay really dedicated to stopping those plays because they run the most beautiful plays in the NBA outside of the Boston Celtics when the Celtics are really running these sets. You can't run sets in the playoffs. You're not going to run sets your way to a championship. You might get that gets you out the first round, but I don't know. Outside of San Antonio Spurs, and even then, like Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Ginobili, they'll all get you out of them jams. But them sets, you playing somebody 7 games, like 4 games in a row, you got to beat somebody 4 times in a row. They're going to figure out them plays.
Well, it's not about figuring out the plays. You still got to play basketball through plays. That's why it's off a reaction when it comes to sets. And then, Mike Conley is out right now. So Spider.
Mike Conley ain't been out all season, bro. Mike Conley played every game this season. He might have missed one. Played every game. The dude missed the game was Donovan Mitchell. Mike Conley played almost every game this season.
He didn't play last night. That's what I'm saying. He's out right now.
Last night, one night, I told you he missed one.
I'm just saying he missed last night. I'm like, last year, the big injury was Bogdanovich, who was out last year in the bubble. And I think that really hurt them too because he was in his stride last year.
And also, Mike Conley ain't show up.
He
didn't show up to play. He admitted that he didn't bring anything to the table. He didn't bring anything to the table when he played major minutes. That's the point.
And that second round,
the same thing. If he bring you Ricky Rubio production, you not going nowhere.
Oh,
that's just it. It's the truth. Ricky Rubio gonna get you out the first round. Ricky Rubio got Utah the first round. Ricky Rubio had a hell of a series against OKC. And guess what happened? Everybody clamps into them plays, and you have to have somebody that's going to create them shots and create them plays outside of Donovan Mitchell. And you can't beat Donovan Mitchell being a superhero every night.
Well, you have to allow him to have the space, and that's what Bogdanovich did. He definitely gave him space to be.
At the end of the day, if he don't have another creator, that Utah had always had a score before Donovan Mitchell got there. They was making the playoffs. Before Donovan Mitchell got there, they've been in the same seed, 3-4 range before Donovan Mitchell got there. Gordon Hayward was doing the exact same thing he did and took him out the first round. You literally, if you don't, Utah's problem always is they don't have another creator. If they get, and they had Rudy Gobert at that time too. Rudy Gobert gonna lock that paint down. Ain't nobody getting over. It's probably 2 players getting over on Rudy Gobert. Ain't nobody getting over on Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert gonna have everything shut down for you. You just gotta have somebody out there that's going to do that other stuff and get some other buckets for Mitchell. Until you get that, I don't know. But they a contender though. They ankle slip away. Somebody got he got to go one-on-one with somebody. Ankle slip away.
Ingles get hot, they can make a run. Ingles got to get hot. O'Neal got to get hot. I think they're lacking. I think they are lacking depth. I think that's where it hurts them. Again, that's a team that I would love to see get some young depth on their bench so they can go a little deeper.
Who going to Utah?
That's why you got to make a move now, man. That's why some of these moves.
Wait. There's no move to make. Who wants anybody from Utah? Why we keep saying moves every time we talk about something? It's a move.
I'm just saying, like, it's moves. It's a couple guys, young guys, like that I would like to see get traded, and that's one of the places I would like to see them get traded to. It's a couple of young guys that's not playing
they're gonna leave immediately. Nobody wants to go to Utah.
I understand that nobody want to go to Utah, which is why you got to trade and get somebody in Utah.
And as soon as their time is up, they out.
They out. Not everybody.
You trade somebody who want to be there to somebody who don't want to be there.
See
how that works.
Clarkson went there and he didn't leave. They signed.
Clarkson got traded there.
Clarkson got traded there and got a contract.
That's what I.
And don't get me wrong. The couple dudes that do stay are the ones that's getting paid. I mean, money is money. I ain't gonna say that, but they don't got but so much money to keep paying all these people, bro.
Hey, I ain't telling you. I'm not telling you that you got to give them a boatload, but you do got to give them.
No, you do have to give them a boatload to stay in Utah. You got to give them a boatload to stay in Utah.
Gobert, the highest paid center of all time, because to stay in.
So he got.
And Scoot, we're about to have a name lesson. This man's name is Gobert. There's no T.
Gobert. No,
Gobert.
He's French.
Gobert
call that man Gobert, like 30.
Gobert got max money. And Jordy Clarkson.
That's the only reason he's there.
Clarkson.
That's the only reason Mitchell's gonna be there is because of max money.
Right, but
Clarkson got paid big money for who he is.
He got nice
Clarkson
money.
got overpaid for being a ninth man everywhere he was at. Everywhere he was at, he was a ninth man. He went to Utah begin.
No, he wasn't.
He started at Lakers. Sometime.
No, he wasn't nobody's ninth man. He was always the starter or sixth man. Jordan Clarkson been balling since he got there, Scooter.
I'm talking about in Cleveland. He was definitely You're right. He's a starter.
He wasn't the ninth man anywhere, bro. Ever.
You're right. Never in his career. You're right. You're 100% right. You're 100%.
I'm sorry.
Right.
We're gonna move on to the second question. All right. So for the second question, we got Dwayne Wade. He was on Gilbert Arenas podcast, and he said, "This is the best LeBron that he's ever seen." I think we actually got footage of him saying it. I think we could check it.
We're gonna cue up that footage, but
this topic starting with you, Scoop.
Oh. Well, Dwayne Wade, yeah, he definitely said this the best LeBron outside of the athleticism and all that. He said on Gilbert Arenas podcast that, it's the best he ever seen him play. And I kind of disagree. He doing and I was one of those guys, Anwar, I'll tell you, I was one of those guys that say LeBron had lost his step and everything like that. And D Wade acknowledged that yeah, he lost his step, but everything else he's doing better. He's shooting better. He controls the game better. He's posting up now. He does everything. He pretty much does everything better. His rotations are better because he lost that step. He can't be unaware on defense and take those little lapses and stuff that he used to do.
I actually think he is better because the only problem I disagree with you on, Scooter, is steps don't mean anything in basketball, in my opinion. Being fast don't mean nothing. It's a bonus if you're fast. It'd be great to be John Wall, but at the same token, Andre Miller still got by people every time. So the speed factor is kind of
It's very overrated.
it's very overrated. So
very
like the part of his game that has gotten better has just gotten better. But if you're saying he lost a step, like don't get me wrong, if we talking athleticism, then yeah, that means something. But he ain't lost no athleticism. The man still pulling the ball down to his hip when he dunked it. So I don't know.
It's funny. This is real funny. I remember like this had to be like 3 years ago. And I kept saying, yo, if he gets somebody like AD, his game is going to evolve like crazy. And he's like fine wine. I mean, he's just evolving. He's going to another level. His game is about to go to another level. This is why I say that he has a chance to be the greatest ever because of the back end of his career. He's still going to be so good and so dominant. Like he got easily another 7 years of dominance in him, dominant years.
I'll say this. I think I'm not gonna get into who is the best ever because I don't think that's a real discussion. But I can say this. I think he's been the best for the longest.
Hey, it's going to be scary. Like
I'm not going to say I don't speak in all times because I think all times is an arrogant statement because it goes into disrespecting players that played before him and everything like that. Hold on, Chet, hold on. I don't speak in all times because of that, but he does as far as in my times of watching sports. He's been the best the longest.
He's going to be the most. He'll be the player who's dominated for the longest.
Who's been the number one guy the longest in his time, and he's the best of his era. He's the best of his era, and that's where I ended at. I don't do greatest of all time and all that because there's a whole different things that other guys had to battle.
I do, and this is why. Listen.
Well, that's not. We'll get to that. We'll get to that conversation when we talk about KG. Just understand something. You can't ever judge all when all doesn't have the same criteria to be judged with.
It's hard.
And that's in anything.
That's
anything.
That's so understandable, and I can relate to that. But it's some numbers that in my lifetime I would have never thought that they would have got broken. Like Wilt numbers, I would have never thought they would be broken.
Yeah,
might shatter.
They haven't. So, Wilt numbers hasn't been broken yet.
You're not listening to me.
All right.
If LeBron has a chance, like if you put 7 more years of dominance with him, he got a chance to shatter all of that. And
and then that's what I mean when I say all feels being even, because with your theory, you're putting up. You said 7 more years.
7 more years.
Okay, so you're talking legitimately 25 years or something to that effect. All right, but bro, Wilt Chamberlain played like 13. So you understand when you can't compare.
You have to consider that.
What I'm saying,
it was only 13 years.
What I'm saying is, you might not be able to compare, but you can't take away from the.
No, and that's why. Me and Scooter always had this conversation. That's why I give people the best of their time because everybody in their era has the same obstacle.
I agree with that perspective.
And I talked to Scooter about the other day. George Mikan was the best of his era, correct? The 50s.
Yes. Of his 50s, the 50s.
I mean, bro, we talking basketball. Am I right?
George Mikan was the best basketball player.
So is it fair to compare George Mikan, who was born in the 30s, to a human being that's born in the 90s just by health, food, environment? You are going to agree that the people that are born in the 90s are bigger, healthier, and stronger than they were in the 30s.
100%. That's a fact.
No, that's how things go. That's by food. We get advancements in vitamins. We get advancements in the ability to build the body.
We also get poison in our food, but all right.
But that's still people Shaq's size weren't around in the 1800s and able to do the things that he did. They just weren't born that big. There wasn't enough sustenance to get a human that big. Okay, things change. All this means something is what I'm getting at. So now you got people who can't be the same athlete that Vince Carter is.
I'm not even playing the same game. Like it's not even the same game at that time.
It's not
Because honestly, George Mikan, if he was playing today, he would be stretching the floor, shooting threes, and probably would be in the league. And if
And be doing what he wanted to do.
if
Because you know,
give me somebody big now. If Embiid was playing where George Mikan was, he'd be shooting a running, sweeping hook shot, and that
laying the
funny
ball.
little layup.
Ball and then matter of fact, Embiid wouldn't be able to play in the NBA because they didn't let blacks play.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we going there. We talking about when they played the numbers that they put up. This is a different perspective. The numbers that they put up is like Kareem numbers is almost unbreakable, bro. His numbers is almost unbreakable.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
if I see somebody break those numbers, like LeBron James, break his scoring title,
I need him to be under the same circumstance in which
He don't
Jabbar did it. Because here's the thing. Basketball, are we going to agree 90%? We're going to agree 10% physical, 90% mental? We all agree on that?
No. I agree.
You know? I don't know what basketball you've been playing.
Now, right now it's 100% physical, 100%.
It's not. It can't be 100% physical.
There's no such thing as 200%.
It's
What are you talking about? That's two things.
of what you go through when you
Bro,
get out of it.
Chip. I understand all Chip. No, I understand all your basketball cliches. We using simple common sense here. There's only 100% that you can give. Forget all that. Give 110%. It's impossible. We only talk. Stop shaking your head. 100% as a whole. That's a simple math concept, bro.
I'm being so honest, especially for black athletes.
Chip, we can't have a conversation.
Let's go to the next. Let's go. We losing ourselves. Let's go to the next.
No, because it brings up to the last question, Scoop.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't have a conversation if we not gonna speak in real terms. And what I mean in real terms, hold up, bro. And what I mean in real terms is simply put, I get all your cliches. That's not what I'm talking about now. I'm simply talking about 100%. Period. 100% as a whole. So you can't. So we all were brought up with 10% physical, 90% mental. And what I mean by that is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's mental capacity at the time in which he was playing was different than a lot of people had to play now. They didn't have that toll. They didn't have that strain. All things aren't the same.
Let me ask you this. Is the game harder now or easier now?
It's not.
And that's kind of what I mean right there. You helped me with my question.
So I want to
It depends.
Oh.
It depends. And what I mean by that is if you're talking about the game may be physically harder to play against athletes who are in better shape and give you more of a resistance, but I don't know if the game is harder to play than when Oscar Robertson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and them had to play it. You see the difference in what I'm talking about? That's like two different.
Now, I hear you, but and this is crazy. This is really crazy.
We're gonna let you think about it. We're gonna come to the next topic. We'll come back around.
We're gonna get back on the last one. But I got you thinking. You like that. All right. Next question. Good question.
Too hard of a question.
Who does Team USA send to the Olympics? Whoa. You want to start with that one, Scooter?
Okay. If Team USA if the NBA ends on time, Team USA will send a mixture of, in my opinion, because they already prepared for times like this. Team USA basketball been preparing for times like this for about the last 5 or 6 years. So Team USA will probably be an infrastructure of mid-year guys where they like in their 5th year, mixed with guys that are like, let's say like a Ja Morant and Jason Tatum, Zion, and it would be a mixture of guys. Dudes like Bam Adebayo. They would go to the B list. They would go to their B list team. That's who they would send. They would send their B list team. So their B list would be Zion, Bam Adebayo, whoever will want to go. Literally, like whoever's in the Team USA and knows the structure of it and will want to go. So
like Steph already said he want to go.
Steph said he's not going.
No, Steph said he wanted to go.
Okay, so Steph will go. It would be Steph. Dudes who want to go. Steph, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal definitely would go. Anybody, Devin Booker was already in run for it and he skipped out. So they probably would be mad at Devin Booker. But 10 guys, I'm gonna give you 10 guys off my head.
That's what
I'm gonna give you 10 guys. Booker, Bill, Jalen Brown, Bam Adebayo, Zion Williamson, John Morant. I'm gonna run through. I'm gonna see a couple more guys on the list. John Morant. It would be a small team, and they would have to find the height because the American height. Drummond will probably still go, like he went in the thing. Drummond would go. I don't know if Jimmy Butler is going to go, but I would say Jimmy Butler just basically would be a mixture of guys, young, very young. It wouldn't be our Team USA dream team that we would want. It would be a mixture of guys that's like 10-year guys with like 5, 6 year, 10-year, and
it's going to look like that.
So no Bron and AD.
No, and I think that's not what you're saying. I think it's
AD.
more if those dudes want to go, they can go, and they'll have their spot. I don't think they're going to go.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to turn into a. Remember when we had the Manimal over there?
Yeah.
Who was that? Who was that? Like
Rose,
the world?
Derrick Rose, Kenneth Faried.
Yeah, it was like the World Championships. We said Kenneth Faried and Mason Plumlee and them too.
Steph
and
Curry and KD went. And KD went.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, Mason Plumlee might make another appearance on the big stage.
Yeah.
I thought KD said he wanted to go too, but he was not really talking about it. He was more focused on the season.
Everybody will say they want to go. It just comes down to like what happens in between, because everybody can say anything until it's time to go.
Right. But okay, so if I had to give 10, I like Bam, I like AD, of course I like Bron, KD, Steph.
Chip. The question was who's going to go. It wasn't pick the all-star team of Americans. The question was who's going to go.
Don't get me wrong, that's who we want to go.
We want Paul George and Kawhi Leonard and Steph Curry and all the dudes like that.
We don't think them dudes is going to go one because of the time. Like it's going. All right. First of all, in theory, you may lose LeBron James and AD because they may be playing too long.
Yeah.
Or you may lose Paul George and Kawhi because they're playing too long. You see what I'm saying? I'm not even sure. Just say it is the Nets that come out. So now you may be losing Harden, KD, and Kyrie Irving as a possibility. All the Sixers players is foreign, so we ain't got to worry about nobody on that team. Taking like our best players. So you see what I'm saying? Like that's what we mean. Like, okay, so if you losing the big boys, who are you going to send?
But I mean, I hear you. I hear what you guys saying. I actually hear this question. However, I feel like we're getting closer and closer to seeing. You know how we see already the world versus the NBA, and we see it with the rookie challenge. We're getting closer when we're about to see the world versus the NBA in the All-Star game.
No, you're not, because they'll never win.
Hey, I agree.
That's not the question, though.
I can't give y'all makeup guys of who I think that's going.
Brandon Ingram will be a guy. Brandon Ingram will be a guy that I think will go too.
No, you can. It's a question, and you understand. You said you understand the question, so you're looking for alternatives to the giant stars that you would be good with going if the big guys couldn't make it.
Here we go. I got you. Brandon Ingram, Jason Tatum, Zion Williamson, Joe Harris.
Yeah.
Bam Adebayo for the big. Montrezl Harrell if Montrez wants to go, because Montrez may be playing too long too. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you an outline. One of the Plumlee brothers. They're all in Team USA within the training camp.
I would never put one of the Plumlee brothers in the Olympics. That would
they were in it.
But hold up, time out. They've already sent the Plumlee, and he's already won a gold medal. And he played and he contributed because Mason Plumlee is actually better than 90% of the bigs in all these other countries.
That we have. Yeah.
He runs the floor, and then when you pair him with NBA talent who know how to get big men the ball where they need it and won't mess up,
good players.
No problem.
Good.
Chip, you got it, bro. And that's why we asked you to give us 10 people.
I'm trying.
I'm trying.
No,
you want to say KD and you want to say LeBron and them. That's not the answers to this question.
Who's realistically going to go? The realistic picture of the thing is that we're going to be sending our young guys again.
Yeah,
it's going back to that. because the older guys are going to be playing in the championship more than like.
And we've seen this before.
He went before.
We've seen this before when they went to the World Championships and they had to send Kenneth Fareed and they had to send Mason Plumlee all on the same team. And you're laughing, but guess what? Those dudes came home with a gold medal.
Hey, in the World Games, I'm hoping that doesn't happen in the Olympics.
Okay, the World Championships and Olympics are no different. Actually, the World Championships tend to be harder than the Olympics.
Who led them in Donovan
Bro,
Mitchell?
you gotta understand that the World Championships tend to be harder than the Olympics.
Let me say this.
Everybody in the world, wait, hold on 1 second, Chill, I'm sorry. Everybody in the world holds I ain't mean to cut you off. Everybody in the world holds the FIBAs higher,
way higher
basketball standards than the Olympics. Everybody in the world wants to win the FIBAs more. That's why we just lost the FIBAs. That was big.
Let me say this. First off, I watched the FIBA in a whole nother country before, so I understand how big it is. Second of all, I also understand that Colangelo was very, very, very upset that he did not have the top players coming into the Olympics, and a lot of them got on board with wanting to go this year before everything happened. Now, I do get it. Again, I understand that a lot of stuff is going on and it's going to hurt them, but I also understand that if this Olympics happen, we want our top guys there.
We do.
We
do.
All want that.
We want our top guys there. But Chip, we just want to answer to the question.
I'm trying.
You're not.
Just give us 7 guys. You only had to give us 10. Give us 7.
Yeah, if you want to give us LeBron and them, it's cool.
Cut out LeBron and them.
Nah, at this point, if that's what you're gonna give us, it's cool.
Give us the 7 guys.
Hey, you can take Tatum, Brown. I like them. I like Donovan Mitchell, of course. I do think Devin Booker gets in this time. The bigs would be kind of hard. You got Drummond
and Mason Plumlee.
Look, you're gonna say Mason
Plumlee. Brook Lopez just went and they lost.
Say what?
Brook Lopez just went and they lost.
Lopez garbage. They should have lost.
Brook Lopez is not garbage, sir.
What?
Brook Lopez not garbage, bro.
I need y'all to understand the words that be coming out your mouth.
Miles Turner could be somebody who definitely could go.
Miles Turner
would be somebody who definitely could go.
Any 7-footer that does not average 10 rebounds a game, you have a problem with me as a coach. I could that blows my mind. You're not winning the championship with Brook Lopez. I'm gonna just throw that out there. You're not. You can't. 5 rebounds is not enough. Sorry, you're 7'3".
So this is all I'm gonna say to you. And this is where you're killing me with your stats. I would ask you to know your stats before you start spewing them out. Now, when Brook Lopez was asked to put his back to the basket and play center, he averaged a double-double. You go look those years up. The minute that he went to the Lakers and they made his dude start shooting threes, and now everything that he does is at the 3-point line, his rebounding went down. These are simple facts. And all I ask is, like, when we talk about basketball, because we all play basketball, the word garbage bothers me when we're having a conversation about anybody that's playing in the National Basketball Association.
Fair enough.
Because the 3 of us didn't make it to the National Basketball Association.
Fair enough. We ain't 7'3" neither.
Didn't make an all-star game in the National
Basketball. You can put that out there too, because there's plenty. I know plenty of 7-foot guys who didn't make it to the National Basketball Association. So that's not a guarantee. Brook Lopez and his brother, professional basketball players who put in more work than me, you, and Scooter.
I'm gonna respect that.
We got to.
I'm gonna respect that.
Brook Lopez didn't never average 10 rebounds though.
No.
What was his high?
His high is 8.6.
Right. Boy ain't never averaged a double-double. That boy.
Okay, so 8.6 rebounds, in my opinion, is fine. For you, so you're saying that if you're a 7-footer and you don't average 10 rebounds, you're garbage? That's what you're telling me?
I'm telling you, you need to do better.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Guess what?
Well, okay, no, Scooter, how many people are averaging 10 rebounds a game?
No. Tell me when the last time.
No. How many people are averaging 10 rebounds a game?
We'll get back to that in a second.
Because I guarantee you, there are only 10 to 15 people averaging 10 rebounds, period. So that means that every other 7-footer there is garbage?
Hey,
come on, bro.
Let's look at pull them stats up.
Because
Lopez ain't never rebound the ball. That was always been my big pet peeve with him. He don't rebound. How you 7 foot? You don't rebound.
Golden State won a championship without somebody averaging 10 rebounds, without a big man averaging 10 rebounds a game. So if he could have been on one of those Golden State teams, he wins a championship without averaging 10 rebounds.
Every 7-footer is not supposed to average 10 rebounds. I don't understand that.
There's only 13 dudes in the NBA that average 14.
13.
14.
13.
Centers.
I got 14.
No, 13 people.
Okay.
You a starting center.
Hold on, no, I guess you're missing it. If only 13 people average 10,
Right.
you're telling me that
There's 30 teams in the NBA, so the rest of
garbage.
the rest of the centers is trash.
Oh,
No.
everybody else is garbage.
No, what I'm saying is you
No,
put
that's
him.
what you said.
Okay, let me put it this way: you put him on an Olympic team. I don't want. Why? You can't rebound.
Bam only averages 9.
Oh, he's
Bam.
garbage.
That's and you pick Bam, and Brooke average 8.
Bam.
He's garbage.
And guards. All
Okay, but no, he doesn't average 10 rebounds,
You say
so
you
he's
average
garbage.
10 rebounds, and you're a big man. That's your skill. This is your skill working against you.
he averaged 9 and guards. I can take that, but you just
Okay,
said
You
well,
like Jared Allen.
9 and 8.6. I'm sorry. My
All right.
fault.
Hold
Yeah.
on, guess who else don't average 10 rebounds this season?
Who?
Scooter. He averaged.
There's
8.
another dude. Wait, hold on, Chip. Hold on, I got somebody for you.
Let me
There's
ask-
somebody that doesn't average 10. Wait, 1 second. There's somebody that averaged 10 rebounds that won a championship that don't average 10 rebounds as a footer. Anthony Davis.
I can't hear you.
Anthony Davis,
Anthony Davis doesn't average 10 rebounds.
doesn't average 10 rebounds.
Now watch this. When does Brooke average 8.6 rebounds this season?
No.
Okay. So when
But
was
you
that?
know, but you
What
know
was
who
it?
does?
What
But
was
you know
that?
who does? You
What
know who
was-
does? Mason Plumlee.
Hey, Mason Plumlee. Now I will say this: Mason Plumlee rebounds the ball. That's one thing he
Yes.
does do.
Yes, and he does.
That's
He
what we
dunks.
I
saying.
credit for that.
That's all we was getting at. We just want a Mason Plumlee like person.
Yo, role player.
Porzingis 7'9". He don't average 10 rebounds. He's garbage.
and that's why they losing. You won't even rebound. You 7'4". You can't get no rebounds, bro.
Anthony
No,
Davis averaged 8 point. Anthony Davis averaged 8.6, and they're winning.
Anthony
Yeah,
Davis.
Porzingis averages 8.6 too.
Hey, they're gonna get 2 people boxing him out, and that's gonna free up dunks, and that's why they kill you in the paint because you gotta put
All
body. You can't switch.
And we're gonna go to the next question, but on this one, you be switching up your answer way
You
too
switch up
much.
according to who you like, who you don't like.
All right.
And you can be honest about that. You switch up according to who you don't like and don't like. So don't set no stat Chip. I'm gonna tell you from here on out, don't set stat bases on people because then they start working against you. I had to stop doing that years ago.
Yeah,
Yo.
according to you, Enos Cantor is the truth, and Anthony Davis ain't no good.
Ain't
No.
shit. Excuse my language.
That ain't what I said.
That is what you said. You said if you're a
Enos Kanter
7
averaging 10.
this is live. This is live and it's going to be posted. You literally said if you're a 7-footer and you don't have 10 rebounds, I have a problem with you. And you said you can't win a championship with a 7-footer that don't get average 10 rebouns.
Listen, what I'm saying.
That's
I
what you said.
if you're,
Yo, Shaq was averaging like 10.1.
what I said was you can't win a championship with Brooke Lopez. That's what I said. That was my
You said
exact.
before you said you can't win a
I don't think you can win a championship if you got to feed Brooke Lopez the ball. You expect the
No.
results to win. Brooke Lopez could be on your team.
No.
Come on, bro.
All right,
Like,
wait, hold on.
we-
I got a statement to say right here. I got a statement that's going to trump that. What you said. There's 400 players in the NBA. I think that's correct. About 400 players in the NBA. Okay. I think only like 25 of them got rings. So there's over like 300 something players in the NBA that you can't win a championship with. So let's kill that theory.
Okay. But
Because there's only in the last 5 seasons,
It ain't a bunch of
we
dudes
literally
going around with
seen-
rings.
if you
we literally only seen 4 teams in the championship in the last 5 seasons. We
Hey.
only seen 4 teams in the championship.
Brooke Lopez is one of the reasons why the center value dropping.
Actually, the price just went up because Rudy Gobert just signed the biggest contract ever. So the
Hey.
price obviously just went up.
He was messing it up. He definitely was messing it up. Hey, bro.
The price is up. The price is up high for centers right now.
I'm gonna tell you what.
No.
You have a strange ire, a strange like destination for your ire. Like Brook Lopez is not a bad basketball player. Why are we sitting here slandering this man like this?
No, he really
Brook
not.
Lopez is actually really good.
He's really good. He just
don't rebound.
He just don't rebound. He never was no
That
rebound.
bothers me to the core. Like, how you don't rebound, bro? Greek misses.
And I'm sorry. We gonna keep it real too, Chip. If him and his brother walk in the gym, rebounding is not anything that's gonna jump out when I look at these boys. Like, well, at least I can get some rebound. I know they tall. They don't look like they're rebound.
Bro,
Robin gets rebounds though. Robin gets them. Robin gets them.
Robin plays hard hustle, man. Like, you can't.
But guess what? Guess what, Chip? Guess what? Robin hasn't won a championship either.
No, he ain't gonna win it.
Okay, guess what? Guess what? It's a lot of dudes who average a lot of rebounds leading you in championships.
Hey, go. Hey,
We gotta go to the next topic because we 35 minutes.
Mason Plumlee needs to be the starting center on the team.
all right. You can have Mason Plumlee.
All right, so we got one college question because obviously this is relevant to what's going on this season.
Ooh.
Is Gonzaga gonna go undefeated this year? Go ahead, Chip.
No.
You said no.
No, but they are so talented. They are so deep. And they are very, very, very good. But it's like teams, it's like, especially them. And for some reason, every year, St. Mary's just give them the game of their life. I have no idea why that happens. And Gonzaga be so talented, so good. So I say no, but I do think that they're going to win a national championship. I just don't think they're going to go undefeated.
You understand why St. Mary's give them a game every year because yeah, they don't care about Gonzaga. They see him twice a year every year, so they know.
They're not Gonzaga to them. It's just another team on the schedule.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of, and it just happened. Like it happens. Like. So
all right, I think Derrick Rose and them lost 2 games the year they went to the national championship. They lost that 1 game in their conference tournament or something like that, and they lost the 1 game in the championship. Jalen Suggs and them ain't losing no game. They ain't losing no game. They too much better than everybody, and then COVID and all this stuff going on. They ain't losing no game, man. They ain't got them boys losing to no game. They ain't losing no game, man.
One day to not have your A game, and you can get knocked off.
Yeah, they always lose, bro.
We seen teams going defeated.
How many teams have we seen go undefeated?
Like 5, probably. I mean, I only seen UCLA do it. UCLA and Duke do it.
I don't know if you really saw UCLA do it. What year was that?
I seen UCLA. That was one of the first college basketball seasons I do it. And O'Bannon and Charles O'Bannon in them.
Okay, so that year, then Duke did it. And are you sure UCLA was undefeated?
I didn't see Duke do it. UCLA did it.
I don't think UCLA was undefeated, bro.
I don't know if they was undefeated.
Yeah, I don't think they were.
I don't know.
UCLA wasn't undefeated.
Then that might have just been. Then I might have been there wrong. I may be there wrong.
It was tough.
It doesn't happen that often, bro. It doesn't happen.
I don't.
To go to the national championship and do it? No, it don't happen that much. Oh shoot! You know what? It didn't happen. It hasn't happened since '76.
Right.
It's only been 7.
Right.
All right, they ain't doing it. They ain't doing it. Ain't nobody doing it. Oh, UCLA didn't do it? None of them UCLA? Oh, y'all them UCLA.
Oh, UCLA did it.
Back in the day.
I was like, I don't think. That's why I said I don't think you saw it. I was like, bro, I wasn't born yet.
Gonzaga ain't going undefeated. I changed my whole statement. Gonzaga ain't going undefeated. Gonzaga ain't going undefeated. No. Ain't nobody going undefeated.
No.
Matter of fact, take that loss now so you can win the national championship. Take that loss.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the funny thing. The last person I had my hopes and dreams on going undefeated was Delonte and Jameer.
Oh my God!
And once that
they lost in the tournament, right? They lost in the tournament. Huh? They lost in the tournament.
John Lucas.
John Lucas.
Hit that 3-pointer to beat him.
John Lucas was snapping on them. John Lucas was snapping that game.
Yep, that was Elite 8. They was on their way to the Final Four playing Oklahoma.
I don't even remember John Lucas in Positive Image.
How would John Lucas play in Positive Image?
You don't remember? Oh, you don't remember his dad used to coach the Sixers?
Yeah, he was playing when his dad was there.
Yeah.
He played in Positive in Philly. What? How old was he, like 10?
We was young. We was
Yeah,
young.
yeah. His dad was coach of Sixers. That's what he was doing.
John older than me. John like 38, 39. I wasn't even nowhere near that.
We was like 12, 11,
I was
12,
nowhere near basketball when Trip, you 38, right?
37.
Yeah, I wasn't near basketball when y'all was 12. I was 10 years old. I was playing football.
Hey, he had game too. I ain't even gonna fake it. Yo, it was nice.
I played 7 years in the NBA. He always had game.
Yo, it was nice. No hate on that.
All right. So moving on to the next question. The NBA, with all this stuff that's going on, have an all-star game. Oh, go ahead, Chip.
Go ahead, you go ahead, Chip.
I mean, I understand it from the player's point of view of we shouldn't. However, it's needed. However, it is to get the message out that we have to become better, and have it consistently going and keeping it consistently going. It's needed.
What message is that?
The message of we have to get better as a country. That message that needs to
What does
be
that
out.
have to do with the All-Star game?
I got to do an All-Star game.
That message would be sent in the All-Star game. You better believe that. I mean, this is where most messages and brands and everything is built, slogans, whatever you want to call it. That puts a positive perspective on everything.
All right. Can I help you out with something though? And then you can respond to that. It's a global pandemic going on.
I get it.
And you are going to take everybody's best player and put them in a position where if one outbreak hits, you got teams losing their best player for
Ain't no
2 weeks. Bro, hold up. We know it's possible because KD was standing next to somebody and he ain't played in 2 weeks.
Right. Oh no. Or they're gonna say he was in the car without his mask on.
No, KD was standing there,
he was with somebody and they caught and they had COVID.
Yeah,
and
that's why he's not
stopped
playing. He doesn't have
KD.
COVID.
KD came up negative, but the guy came up positive, so they had to sit KD out for 2 weeks now. That's why they're sitting KD.
So do you put all them and all the teams at risk of that? Now that's just the basketball part of it, which actually means nothing to me. I'm gonna take it a step further.
Right.
Chip, if you have All-Star Weekend, who's going to attend All-Star Weekend?
Oh, you already know.
You already know it's going to be all us there.
Understood.
Majority.
And it's in Atlanta.
You're going to be taking all of these African American people, putting them in a situation where they're exposed to the virus and are going back in 70,000 directions once they leave there.
So let me
remember the largest group that's going to go is the group that's been hit the hardest by this COVID thing.
I agree with everything you're saying.
But basketball is more important.
Everything you're saying. However, if we're gonna look at it like that, then why are we having a season?
Because there's no fans.
Me and Scoot already had that question.
We already had this debate. We don't.
Oh, wait a second. Now you do understand that the games are a little more mandatory than an All-Star game. You don't have to have an All-Star game.
And I agree with that. But however, it's fans allowed in the games now.
Not everywhere. You know that. Nobody can go to a Sixers game.
You cannot come to a Sixers game. You cannot come to a Nets game.
Hold on. But they're starting in other places, letting fans in there, and
more fans in other places. Period.
But who's to say that? I mean, they just had a Super Bowl with a bunch of unmasked fans. That's not smart. You're giving me things that you're saying they're doing it. It doesn't mean it's smart.
I'm not sitting up here saying that it's smart. That we need to.
It's needed.
What I'm saying, I'm asking you. I'm not telling you to be the commissioner. And if you're telling me something that you know something's not smart, you're willing to do it anyway.
It's risky, and that's when a person like me is sitting up there like, okay, what's really going on? Something ain't right. Something don't add up.
So why would you agree that they should have it if something ain't adding up?
I wasn't really agreeing with that they were saying that they're going to have it.
No, I guess we're asking should they have it. That's your person, not what they're going to do. We don't know what they're going to do. Asking you, Chip, should they? That's a yes. You know what I mean? in your opinion. This is your answer. This is not. You don't have to give a politically correct answer. You ain't worry about the NBA hearing it. You don't even have a say so in this. You're just giving what you would do.
No, they shouldn't have it, but I would like for them to have it.
Okay, that's the answer. In my opinion, no, we should not have an all-star game. It's a pointless game. It's an exhibition game. Give out all-star teams so these dudes can get their bonuses. Do a Zoom. Let them all say thank you for making me an all-star, and then let them sit home with their families and sit in and do what they got to do and get ready for the next couple games because they putting their life on risk every time they go outside their house to go play these games.
One of the things I didn't realize was the restrictions that they put these grown men on in their life right now. So the ability just to be able to go home and see my wife and kids, and be around. Can I get that as opposed to where the NBA 2K balls at? Let them get on ESPN with the just like they did the NFL joint.
I agree with that.
Like let them rock out, let them be home because they already got restrictions on where they can go during All-Star break, what islands they can go to, who they could be around, and they got people actually watching them. They're paying people to watch them. So let them have their time to go on vacation and everything like that. Somebody like LeBron shouldn't have to go to the All-Star game. He just played in a finals, and a month later he got to play in the season, and he hasn't missed a game yet.
Right.
No, we don't need no All-Star game this year. I'm sorry. We canceled it before. We'll cancel it again. It's not like the All-Star game hasn't been canceled before.
If they make them play, go play and ball out, and we'll watch it. Yeah, but you still, it's not a good decision. It kind of makes you really think about.
Right.
I know we always say that the NBA players are the ones that are in control of that league. It's things like this that let you know they really not.
They ain't.
It's things like this to let you know that it's a power struggle going on. You better believe that. The owners have never been happy about the players with the type of freedom.
Oh no.
But hopefully it gets better. And this is what I mean by, the world needs to see change. We need to talk about it more. We need to do whatever it takes.
But an All-Star game, actually, the way we can talk about it is blacking out an All-Star game and having a conversation.
I'm gonna tell you something now. First of all, the people that y'all want to talk to aren't watching the All-Star game.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm just
people
saying.
Chip that, and don't get me wrong. I understand what you're saying, and the NBA is gonna put that message out there. But the people who need to hear that message, they're not gonna be watching the All-Star game because it's gonna be 10 black dudes on the court who are pretty much. I'm dead up. Like the people who need to have this conversation that you want to talk to, they done already gave up on the NBA because they know they're gonna hear this message.
It's not their sport no more. They don't care about that. They left the NBA years ago.
These slaves have already bucked the system and don't want to be good old boys and listen to what we got to say. So we're gonna stick to football.
Well, okay.
I mean, and I ain't knocking football. I understand that the structure of how the sport is made up way different. And them dudes don't have the same latitude to get out there and talk trash like LeBron do because they will get rid of them.
Yeah.
They will have no bread.
Yeah, well, that's where people gotta really step up on that. And it is coming. I think they're coming. I think they're starting to realize what their powers are and
bro, they don't have no power. They don't even got medical. They don't have no power. Football players as a union, as a whole, don't have no power. That's what happened.
The sport is a different sport. If
the
you
sport
gave,
is about the jersey.
But no, if you gave out medical, it would go under. If you treated the football players the same way that you treated the basketball players, the game would go under. They wouldn't be able to afford it. People get hurt too much. It's too physical.
Hey, you got a whole dude that just he just messed his girl over and he about to be medically cleared. So
the NFL, this is how crazy the NFL is versus the NBA. The NBA players went on strike. Guess what happened? No season until they got on strike. The NFL players went on strike. Guess what they said? We will replace y'all. Right. And guess what they did? Replace them. They have a movie called The Replacements.
But you already.
You wasn't around, Scooter, but that actually happened in like 85.
No, that really happened.
I remembered it. I remember it in 85. They had scabs. They was on strike the whole season.
And guess who? Guess who was the one scab that crossed over first? The first star NFL player to cross, LT, and that's when he set the sack record playing against Average Joes.
No, he that's not when he set the sack record.
That's not to set the sack record that year. He had something crazy that year though.
Because he didn't play. He didn't play the whole year. He came in, but at that point that he came in, was a lot of people coming back.
Yeah, he just was the first big name. Shout out to LT.
Cocaine costs a lot of money, bro.
Shout out to LT. There's a lot of coke going on. The LT. Don't even Google LT's life. Just Google his football game. Because if you Google his life,
do my dog like that. Don't do my dog like that.
No, it's a fact. Man. It's kind of like FLT because he want to play with little kids.
Yo,
so FLT altogether. Like that's.
I'm gonna disagree with that part, Scooter. You telling half a story.
All right, what's the other half?
Next
half of the story is, bro, he didn't know who that girl was. It wasn't like he went out and said, "How old are you?"
He ain't R. Kelly.
Like, I'm 16.
He ain't R. Kelly. He ain't R. Kelly.
No,
right, he ain't R. Kelly.
On the shit.
All right.
She was 16. What are you doing out here?
All right, Lauren. All right, that's cool. Lawrence telling R. Kelly, I give you a pass, LT. But
yeah, his what I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still mad that you get caught up with a 16 or it kind of is what it is. But you a dude like
no, you don't. Yeah.
You shouldn't have been out the street trying to get chicks.
I give you one, LT. My bad. What's the next question?
All right, so now is the the question the question of the day. We can ride out the rest of the show with. And this all came from
and this a misquote too, because 30 years he didn't see 30 years. He said 20.
There's no point in. I think we got
a big difference.
We got it right there. And they say the game is at another level. I want you to get on the court, sprint corner to the corner, stop on a dime and shoot a three. I want you to do 10 of those. Then I want you to focus on how tired you are because these players do that for 48 minutes.
Right.
20 years ago, guys used to use their hands to control players. Now you can't use your hands. That makes it different. That makes defense damn near impossible. Can you imagine not hand checking Michael Jordan? Fadeaways, one-legged runners, one-leg balance shots. That stuff Dirk Nowitzki brought to our game. And now when I watch the Joker play, it feels like he has taken Dirkness and mixed it on his own talent. Instead of revolutionized with being able to shoot it from a distance with such consistency, Klay Thompson, Dame Lillard. These guards changed the game. I don't know if even the guards from 20 or 30 years ago could play this at this time right here. It's creative, it's competitive, it's saucy. You get dropped. A blank will cross you over, break your ACL these days. The game is in a great place. All right, I'll go first. Yeah and no. Once again, this is kind of what I was saying to you earlier about the times. Okay, all these moves that people are doing is because that's the moves they're doing now. Chip, did you Euro step people in high school?
No.
You know why? Because they weren't doing Euro steps here in the United States. We weren't doing Euro steps when we grew up. But you know what a Euro step really is? A Euro step is just an unathletic way to get around people. We were taught go over them.
Facts.
So that whole one step to the left, one step to the right, and I'm using that move because everybody does it now.
Right, everybody does it.
That's a move that we didn't do because that's not anything that was being done at the time. So what you're telling me is, Chip, that you couldn't do, you don't think you can do a Euro step?
No.
You know you could do a Euro step.
Yeah, but it wasn't taught. It wasn't taught to me. But I mean,
see what I'm getting at,
right? But
when those dudes, anybody who's playing in any era will learn what these dudes are basketball players.
I agree.
John Havlicek would be playing basketball right now because John Havlicek was a basketball player. He just would be doing the moves of 2021 and not the pat dribble that they did in 1960 because that's what he learned in 1960.
Yeah, but dudes would get cooked.
No, they wouldn't get cooked because they would. No, wait a second, bro. They would be primed to this time. Are you telling me that you expect these dudes not to be in a weight room like these guys? Not to be. You're trying to compare what you saw of a person 20 years ago to what you see now, but you're not giving them an even playing field. It's not like you would be taking Kevin McHale in his true form from 87 and dropping him off in 2021. You would be getting Kevin McHale that played ball for 4 years prior to this, that's been playing against these same dudes that has his skill set because they were all professional basketball players. I hate that people take away from these dudes like they were garbage back then. They still were blasphemous. They still were the best basketball players in the country. And if they're still going to be the best basketball players in the country at this time or whatever time you put them in, they're going to be good.
Now we're gonna let Chip have it, and I'll close out.
I really understand where you're coming from. Like, I totally agree. I want to first and foremost. It's hard to say that if a player back then playing now, he wouldn't be good. Because to be honest, KG right now, I think he'll be dominant. Like I always used to be mad when he grabbed 20 points and had 20 rebounds and 5 assists. And I'm like, yo, let him dribble the ball up.
If they let KG be KD, how good would KG have been?
He would have been pretty darn good. He would have been even better. I will put it that way. Now, however, those guys paved the way. This is why I don't like to disrespect the older guys, though, because they paved the way for so many more. I believe the reason why I believe the league is so good now is because of what it was, and they had to learn from somebody. They had to get it from somebody to put it into their game, to put it to where it's at now. And I hate when the older guys come down on the game now. I hate when old guys who can't relate to the game, who are outdated, all they do is jack up threes. All they do is this. No, they get up and down the court. They run up and down the court. They motors is nonstop. And no, they can't hand check you no more. They can't just hold on to you no more. They can't.
That's what I mean. Like their motors were nonstop in the 50s. The problem, I guess what I'm saying, you're right.
One stat. I'm gonna give you one stat. One thing. Hold on, I'm gonna say something. The pace of play when Oscar Robertson led the NBA with a triple-double was a higher pace. They were playing at a higher pace of play than they played in the NBA when Russell Westbrook averaged triple-double. That's a fact.
And it's easily explainable because they had less teams.
They were playing that. I'm talking about speed of the game.
Speed of the game. Well, you don't have to play as many games against different teams. You can speed the game up. You got better players. You can speed the game up.
And you got more.
And when I say better players, I'm not comparing the players of Oscar Robertson to the players of now. I just mean as a whole, you had to have better players because it was less teams.
But as a whole now, it's better players now.
And I guess that's what I'm arguing. There's nothing that can prove the players are better now than they were before. There's no measure that can ever prove that because they don't play on an even field. It's just going to be opinion.
All right, Chip, go ahead. Make your closing statement, then I'll make mine. Chip, go ahead.
I would just say, in the closing statement, I would just say I love where the game is at right now. And the players that we have right now, I mean, guys like Steph, you didn't have that 30 years ago. And I
weren't allowed to have that.
Hold on.
Okay, but when you say you didn't have a player like Steph 30 years ago,
right?
That's not a fair statement because of progression of the game. So if you take the 30 years prior to the 30 years that you're talking, wasn't nobody shooting threes at all. So it took the evolution of the 3-pointer to get this far for him to shoot it.
But
now when Shaq and them say they jack up threes, yeah, that's just some old hate and stuff because you didn't play that way. But it's not that doesn't bother me. That's just a difference in game. And when Shaq says people jacking up threes, I'm like, Shaq.
But when the NBA has had the 3-point line long enough, and you still have not seen that.
Oh, wait a second. They haven't had the NBA the 3-point line.
The 3-point line was fairly new in the 80s.
Since the 80s, bro.
79.
So if wait a second, if the line wasn't there until like the 80s, that means people had no real desire to shoot it because it made no sense. There is a wait a second. There's a
Shit, how many threes was you allowed to shoot a game in Frankfurt at 2002?
I was ahead of my time. You better believe.
How many threes did you shoot a game,
bro.
Chip?
Yeah.
I probably shot about 4 of them.
Okay. Chip, wait a second. Steph shoots 16. What would have happened to you? Wait a second. What would have happened to you in high school if you would have ever put up 16 3-pointers?
What you talking about? I would have made 10 of them and I would have been straight.
All right, Chip. Now we're talking realistically speaking, Chip.
No, listen.
No, answer the question.
You couldn't put them up. You couldn't put them up.
Listen.
And you couldn't do it. And that was what year, Chip?
That was 2001.
And can we say that in 2001 you were not allowed
up that many shots because somebody would have had a heart attack.
The game was played differently.
It evolved. So,
but hold on, finish.
Go ahead.
It took for somebody. You gotta understand something. It took somebody with the courage to think outside the box to even do it, to even pull up from half court. And you better not say nothing. I got this. I can shoot.
I don't. You're gonna have a real hard time telling me that Larry Bird is not capable of that. You're gonna have a hard time telling me that Reggie Miller and Dale Ellis and them dudes, because they didn't shoot. But if they shot them as much as he did, they would have hit him.
Let me say this. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If they would have took those shots, they wouldn't have said nothing. Them coaches wouldn't have said nothing.
They would have.
Yes, they would have. Because that's not how the game was played. It's not how the game was played.
The game was different at that time.
Those were the dudes who shot a lot of threes, and theirs was 6.
Yo, I'm just trying to explain to you. If it's one thing that I would say Reggie Miller regret, I bet you he regret not shooting more.
He couldn't.
He couldn't because the game wasn't evolved. The evolution of thinking wasn't evolved. But Chip, wait, hold on.
I'm gonna say this, Chip. If Reggie Miller was playing on a team coached by Larry Bird,
right,
and he still didn't get up 10 3-pointers a game, then come on, bruh.
Watch this. I'm gonna go back. Here goes another player, right? That I love the way he played, and you just had to let him play his game. And his name was Allen Iverson. The game was played differently, and when AI came in the league, it was, hey, bro, y'all, I gotta play my way.
Yeah,
you gotta let me play my way.
That happens. Yeah, that happens.
All right, so it takes for players to really be outside the box.
But I'm sorry, I'm not, and I'm sorry. I'm done on this part. I'm never comparing what Steph Curry has done for the game of basketball to what Allen Iverson has done. That's a bad comparison.
Well, why?
Because one dude changed basketball.
Both of them changed.
Steph Curry didn't change basketball. No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No.
Yes,
who can duplicate what Steph do?
Nobody.
Then how do you change the game if it's not upon duplication?
They still trying to duplicate.
If it's not upon duplication, how can you change the game?
Because they are.
What rule has been in play to stop Steph Curry?
Allen Iverson came in and people changed their game to Iverson's game. Steph Curry, wait a second. Nobody is trying to change their game to Steph Curry's. They tried to change their team's game to Golden State's.
No. Let's say this again.
Nobody's trying to be Steph Curry.
And people tried to change their game to Allen Iverson, but couldn't.
Yes. Nobody's trying to change their game to Steph Curry.
And everybody tries to change their game to Steph.
Nobody does.
Damn.
Who has tried to change their game to Steph Curry?
What you mean? How many people are pulling up way beyond the 3-point line now?
They can shoot. That's not because of him.
How many of them shoot 16 threes a night like Steph Curry?
I'm sleep.
How much more threes does Steph lead over everybody else?
Steph changed the game.
How?
Wait, because everybody's not out there just jacking up threes. It's not basketball. Everybody's not doing it.
Everybody can't do it.
Everybody cannot do it.
Nobody can do it. Nobody can shoot.
You know what Iverson did? Iverson, in my opinion, made this whole positionless basketball thing. Him.
What rule was in play for? What rule got in play for Steph Curry? Did they bring a rule in the game to stop Steph?
Tell me what rule that is.
Hey,
because the zone was created.
Tell me one time they went into a meeting in the summer with all the big wigs and decided to change the rules.
Two rules.
Tell me.
Two rules.
Wait a minute.
You used to be able to put the ball up here and go like this and put it over here.
Wait a minute.
Guess what happened after Allen Iverson rookie year? That was a walk.
Yo.
The second one, after Allen Iverson, it was a zone.
Hand
zone.
Check.
Zone
hand check. Okay, the hand check is Iverson too.
Yo. Tell me whoever ran a boxing one. When you ever see a boxing one in an NBA game?
You can't put a boxing one in the 90s and 2000s because there was something called illegal defense.
They played the zone for Iverson.
Yes.
All right.
But they didn't play no zone for Iverson.
They didn't play no zone though.
They couldn't put a boxing one.
They played a
saying
on Steph
because it was an illegal defense.
It was illegal defense.
They played a box.
They're allowed to play. They play a boxing one on Trae Young. They play a boxing one on James Harden. They play a boxing one.
They would have played a boxing one on Michael Jordan. Come on, bro. They couldn't do it.
They couldn't do it. It was out of the rules. It was called illegal defense. If they could have put a boxing one on Michael Jordan, guess what happens? No triangle.
Are you serious? You're really sitting there laughing like you came up with a good point.
No, I'm just saying
the rules.
Last time you've seen it, like
you can't do it. You couldn't do it back in the day. It was called illegal defense.
So right now you can do it though.
Yes.
Who else did you see them do it to?
James Harden, Trae Young.
Yes.
You don't watch enough basketball. You obviously not watching enough basketball. We and Anwar sat here and watched the game. We gonna be on the
with James Harden is boxing one of them.
We watched the game, the whole game. They boxing one Trae Young. The Clippers ran a boxing one against James Harden.
The Clippers ran a boxing one on Trae Young.
Have you seen it?
Every time
seven times.
You see
every star that has no good players on a team, we see a boxing one.
You seen it in the finals.
It has no shooters.
No, I just told you. I watched the whole Sixers game with Trae Young. We watched him do it when the Harden was with the Rockets. Huh?
If you can hear. When?
The Lakers did it in the playoffs against the Rockets. Just this season.
No, you got to realize something too, Chip. I can see your mouth moving. That's why I say, huh?
You know,
last year,
finals, Toronto did it again
because they didn't have any other players.
It makes sense.
Theory.
No Klay Thompson.
No Kevin Durant.
That's what they have on the bench. Dudes that were coming off the D League.
So your argument is that Steph has
no Iguodala.
Y'all telling me Steph did not change this game. That's what y'all arguing.
No. The argument was in the way that Iverson did. That's what started it. And we said that he doesn't have any of those things that Iverson has going for him. He did not have any rule changes for him. We just gave you two for Iverson.
I can give you.
Your comeback was a boxing one.
No, I can give you the argument for that, but I'm saying I can give you I can understand. I can agree with that, but he's changed the game just as.
They went in they had a meeting on changing rules. He didn't just that's changing the game when they change a rule.
See, what you're saying is in theory, like in people's minds, in the ether, he changed the game. Allen Iverson changed the game on paper. Like really, they had to go type up new rules.
Iverson changed the game in a lot of ways. Okay. Yeah. A lot of ways. I completely.
They rewrote the rule book for him. No, when they rewrote the rule book for you,
every player in the NBA went and got their hair done like that guy.
Everybody had braids all of a sudden. There's only two dudes that everybody got their hair done like.
To everybody.
There's only two dudes that everybody changed their hair like, and they both played for the Sixers.
I tried to get braids. Everybody got braids.
No, that might be a dope thing that you just hit right there, Scoot. I never thought about that. Only two basketball players that ever made everybody change their hair. Dr.
J
and
Allen Iverson. And wait, there might be two dudes that I know that they changed rules for. I know for a fact. And both of them play for the Sixers. Wilt Chamberlain, Allen Iverson. Those two dudes that I know.
I go three. Daryl Dawkins.
There's a fourth, Charles Barkley.
Did they change the rules for Barkley?
10-second back to the basket.
That was that's
Shaq and Barkley.
That's Mark Jackson.
Okay, they said it was Barkley and Mark Jackson. They said it was
Mark Jackson backing you down, backing the point guards down for 20 seconds.
Back to the basket. But well, in closing, all right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna close it out. In theory, of what KG said, the game is at a high. The game is made for what it's made for today. It was created for scoring. It was created for fanfare. It was created for the show. The game has become the show. But in essence, 20 years ago, I've seen players who were the show before the show happened. Any person on here that thinks that players couldn't play back in the day, I challenge you to go look at Steve Francis, go look at Baron Davis, go look at Tracy McGrady, go look at Allen Iverson, go look at all the guards back in that day that played. Stephon Marbury, all those dudes were advanced. Give those guys free reign, no hand check, no touching. Allow them to not have to shoulder dribble as far as like crab dribble down the floor and be able to dribble in your face without being able to be touched. Give those guys the same advantage and they'll have the same level of creativity and showmanship as these guys. And let the game be made for showmanship. Penny Hardaway had to bring the ball up every time and bring the ball to Shaq. Imagine Penny Hardaway able to bring the ball up and just go able to shoot anytime he wants to shoot the ball. Be able to handle the ball and be able to get to the basket without nobody being able to touch him. Penny Hardaway would make some special, amazing things. So before we make these statements, and Kevin Garnett, I respect him as a basketball mind. I respect him as a basketball enthusiast. I think he jumped out the window on this one, and it happens because I understand the detail of the interview. I read the whole interview, and he was challenging the writer because he hates the media to do the things the NBA players do. He jumped out the window with saying the 20 years ago thing because Tim Duncan would flourish, KG would flourish as a big today. All those guys would be elite bigs. Rasheed Wallace would be an elite big today. Rasheed Wallace took 5 or 6 threes a game, and they said he was disinterested with the game back in the day. Rasheed Wallace take 5 or 6 threes today, he would be telling him to take more.
Hey, and he can shoot him with his left hand.
They would tell him to take more today.
And he can shoot with his hand. That's
So
crazy.
in essence, yes, the evolution of the game has grown, but I also challenge you to look at the evolution of the game and look at the guys who came before these guys. And I see what's going on in the NBA, and I don't like it, and it's very distasteful. And they try to destroy history with making the now so much greater than beforehand.
It takes away from
And you have to easily. YouTube is accessible. One of the best series I ever seen in basketball, and this is what we'll do. Our NBA legend, Czech Rock legend. One of the legendary series I seen was the Boston Celtics versus the Sixers, and I think 81. They won 7 games. If you watch the pace of that game and watch how fast they were playing and how quick they were getting up shots, it's like today. And the series went 7, and I think it went to a game winner. And I think Doc and them beat the Boston Celtics that series. And just watch that series when the Celtics
in the playoffs.
Yes, the Sixers and the Celtics went to like 7. It was one of the best playoff series I ever seen in my life. I watched every game of that series on film and on tape. And if besides the crab dribbling and them not having to dribble on the side, the pace was played so fluid.
Awesome. The pace was
so fast. And it was the scores were like 115, 120, and they were how they are now, and they didn't have free reign. So imagine how many points those guys would score now.
Right, with free reign. And I like
that's so my NBA Czech Rock legend of the week is 1980s. Anybody who thinks this generation is so much greater than every generation, go check out those conference finals and the finals of the 80s of the Celtics playing the Sixers and the Sixers playing the Lakers.
Who was your favorite player in the 80s?
It's too many of them to name.
Larry Bird.
Larry Bird was your favorite player in the 80s?
Crazy story. I got 2 older brothers.
I'm about to say, I could picture that for you.
I got 2 older brothers, so my oldest brother is a Sixers fan.
Right.
The one that comes under him was a Lakers fan. You got to remember, in the 80s, what were the only 3 teams that won anything?
Sixers, Celtics, Lakers.
Sixers, Celtics, and Lakers.
And Pistons.
Pistons was later.
You
know what I'm saying? So I'm talking like that, the early 80s when I'm 6, 7 years old, starting to like basketball. Well, they had one dude had the Sixers, the other one had the Lakers. I'm like, well, I gotta like somebody too that wins.
Yo,
only other team was winning was the Celtics, and Bird was getting it, so that was my guy.
My mom might still
have a Sixers fan though.
I had a Maurice Cheeks jersey.
All right, I was born in '85, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I was watching basketball in the '80s, or even paying attention to anything basketball related in the '80s.
I was bred in
And I don't have no big. I'm an only child.
Yeah, and I will say just because I mean, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I was young too, but I had an older brother.
You had
My older
older
brother
brothers,
really liked
yeah.
basketball.
I got
My other brother's into sports, but my oldest brother was really into basketball. So
Right.
just being a little brother, I gotta sit around this. I didn't know what I was watching. I do vividly remember Mo Cheeks getting that dunk. One of the final plays when they won the championship.
Dunk in the
Yeah,
hand
that joint, yeah. Like I remember that in my head watching
Dunk
it,
in the
joint,
hand
jumping
raise.
up and down with him. So I was always a Sixers fan, but when just for the trash talking aspect with my brothers, I had to get Boston, and Bird was my guy because I could put him up against Doc and Magic.
And Chip, you asked me who my favorite player was of the '80s. Of my video research that I watched, I'm a guard guy, so I'll be honest, it's Isaiah Thomas. I think Isaiah Thomas. I tell people, I say Isaiah Thomas pound for pound, because if you watch him from '80 to when he won the championship, he evolved so much of a player as far as when he played with Kelly Tripucka to when he was scoring 20 something and 25, 26 a night as a midget. Like, this is a 6 foot guy in the Giants league.
Getting busy.
And they say the guards evolved. I can only imagine Isaiah Thomas was shooting more threes than anybody during that period when the 3-pointer came into play.
He was shooting three.
He was shooting 2 or 3 a night. And that was like he's shooting too many threes. And I could only imagine Isaiah Thomas would, and he says it all the time when he watches the things, like, man, I just wish I could have played today.
Right.
He said he wished he could have played today, and that's why I say, please.
I mean, even people like, can you imagine if John Stockton got to shoot as many threes as he won?
Right, but that's what.
Imagine if John Stockton was allowed to shoot.
He was allowed to shoot. He just didn't. That was on him.
Isaiah Thomas always said that he thought that Jerry Sloan, he said it in the they had the round table discussion about the 80s, and they had James Worthy and all them in there, and he said if the Utah Jazz ever let John Stockton go, where they would let him score and let him do what he wanted to do, he said if they let him do what he envisioned him doing. No, Isaiah said he envisioned John like getting 20 something a night.
He rarely missed.
Yeah,
like John Stockton rarely missed, bro.
And this is what I say. Okay, we say that the guards are so much better than today's been back in the days guards, and they don't guard each other. One, so everybody say you can't guard them. Dame Lillard don't guard Steph Curry.
Right.
So why John Stockton can't guard Danny Green?
Well,
why John Stockton can't hide? It's not too many backcourts with 2 dudes that can handle the ball. Every guard, I don't have to guard the guy that's going to tear my ACL. I'm guarding the guy in the corner. Or I'm guarding a guy that's hiding. I'm guarding Anthony
because
Rose.
I'm sorry, you would be hard pressed to tell me that Steph Curry plays better defense than anybody from any era.
Don't guard no main guard. Steph Curry don't touch Jamal Murray and all them dudes.
And he ain't got his ACL broke yet.
He did get crossed and broke his ankle. The Eric Gordon, that's on
his ankles was already bad.
Eric Gordon did cross him and take his ankle.
Ankles was already bad, bro.
The ankles was. But that's all I'm saying is if James Harden can hide every night and Kyrie Irving, they don't have to guard and match up with the main guys.
Hide every night.
Huh?
No, he don't hide every night. The nights he don't hide, he can't guard his stick.
Yeah.
He can't hide no more.
Don't get me wrong. He don't be hiding no more. He admits it. He can't guard a stick.
Hey, that's why they gotta go get somebody, a defensive specialist.
They need 4 defensive specialists.
And guess what happened back in the day? Because they had something called illegal defense, where if you hid your guard, guess what happened to your guard? He got put in the post. Because you can't hide.
Y'all need to Brooklyn need to ask for more timeouts. They need to see if they can get more timeouts per game. Then that way they can just go offense, defense the whole game.
Brooklyn just need their guys playing. They need to get KD.
They need to go offense, defense the whole game. Seriously, they need to keep 5 at the table at all times. As soon as you score a point, timeout. Bring the other 5 and play defense. They need like a football team mentality.
Man.
Before we get out of here, we just gonna say that no year is better than yesteryear. No generation is better. They're all generations of their self. They all have their own. They have their own things they have to battle. Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points, but came on a Greyhound train. Rode the train to the game. rode the train on the game to Hershey.
Why were they playing in Hershey? Like everything about this is weird.
It's like the
Hershey
Boston
is not even close to Philadelphia, bro.
Bill Russell played in Boston in Boston and wasn't even really allowed to be with the team. It was in a racist. It was in a racist
Boston restaurants or
you can't eat in
Boston
restaurants in
hotels.
Boston. So okay, just the mental damage and the stuff of that. These dudes played in leather and canvas sneakers,
And that's why I believe in the 100% mental, 100% physical, especially for black players, because of what we go through mentally when we walk out of the arena. I believe that. Like I've always believed that.
I think that's more back in the day, because now when you walk out the arena, you walk out the arena in a Hellcat.
No, Scooter, don't do that. You walking out in a Hellcat, but if this was a race, you started 2 miles behind a bunch of people.
Yeah, definitely.
You know who broke that? Like literally, who said that out of his mouth to me? You know who said that?
Who?
Years ago at Rasheed Wallace camp. It's the first time I ever met Chris Webber. This was years ago, the first Rasheed Wallace camp.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Sheed. That camp was awesome. C Webb in the conversation, hey, this game, don't let them tell you is 80% physical. I mean, 80% mental, 20% physical. No, it's 100% mental, it's 100% physical. That's where
I get what you're saying, but you understand that statement makes absolutely no sense.
But 100% and 100.
He's giving you a cliche that doesn't make sense.
No,
that doesn't make no sense.
Perfect sense though.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It can't.
It doesn't. Wait. First and foremost, we gonna. I need you not to quote the worst analytic person in basketball.
Chip. You have to understand.
TV on mute. As great as a player he is a horrible person to talk about.
You got to understand the difference between metaphors, because what you're giving us is a metaphor, and metaphors are cute. I don't really talk in metaphors. I speak in actual terms, and it's a metaphor.
This is very actual term. If you don't understand,
not actual terms, is metaphoric.
Finish, or y'all gonna just keep
nobody talking? No, you can't finish because there's nobody.
Because it's wrong.
If you don't see that the game is 100% mental now, and then to be able to have to walk
only
who has 200% of a body?
It's only 100% of anything.
Oh my
it's
God.
Only
100% a whole of anything. It's only a whole. It's only a whole. So you going from a whole,
and that's something that you can't argue. Like we can't really have a real conversation if you are not going to ever agree that a whole is 100%. That's a simple math term, bro.
I know how I get. You know how I am. I'm gonna just let
That's a simple math term.
That makes no sense. It's not. It's a simple math term. That's why I said it's metaphoric. But when metaphors don't have to make sense.
Talk about again. Everything don't have to be in a box. If you put yourself
no, that's not a box.
It's a reality.
Let me finish. The thing when I was telling y'all about it takes coverage like Steph Curry for him to start thinking outside the box and force the hand. Like I'm gonna shoot it from here. Y'all didn't have a player to do that until that happened, and now
I'm just talking about the 100%.
Have a player that can do that.
You still talking about the 100%. That's all.
Yeah. When you talk 100% and you talk about it that way, like all right, we just only gonna. Nobody said we're just gonna only make it 100% right here. No, what he's saying is we're gonna take.
Who's a 200% person?
Finish?
No.
Wait, let him finish, and then I'm gonna ask that question. Let him finish.
It's not 200%. What he's saying is it's just two different categories that go to 100%.
But then that's 50 and 50.
So, no. You looking at it like all right, all we get is 100%.
Because that's all we get.
And I get it. But when you say that, okay, it's two different categories and you can get 100% in both. It's just like if I got classes, I got
basketball's not two different categories. Basketball's one category.
I can get straight A's.
No, you can get straight A's. But if we're talking about math, you can only get an A in math.
If we're talking about
and your math grade, 100% of your math grade is made up of something. So we're only talking about basketball. It's one subject. No, basketball's a subject, bro.
You're talking about the mental part of basketball, and you're talking about the physical part of basketball.
No, I'm talking about basketball and how they both mesh to it. One thing. I'm not talking about physical. It's not two things. It's one.
But that's where that line goes. It's more than just basketball. I'm just giving you that perspective. Like I'm not gonna be one way.
Don't make any sense, Chip. None. No, not just to me. You don't make any sense. Period, bro. If something,
That's
we
crazy.
have a simple whole here, and I guess that's what you're not. And you're trying. You're being metaphorical.
No. I guess that's why we
You have
got
to be being metaphorical if you
You're
see
being metaphorical.
that's why we got so much mental health out here right now. Because you
No,
don't
that's not a mental
Yo,
health
I gotta go
subject.
to yo. We hold on. Wait. We're gonna talk about this off the air. Oh, no, wait. We'll talk about this off the air. Yo, everybody, we appreciate all y'all for tuning into the Check Rock podcast, where we challenge you to check rock. Have a good night, y'all. We already went way over our time. Have a blessed night, y'all.
A little bit. All right.
Look, we actually did real